We begin with the crash that claimed her very young life. CTV's Art Beaumonk is in the city's West End tonight where the crash happened, and Art, police are telling us that it appears Kovach lost control of her cruiser.
It does, Megan. In fact, that's what we were told at a news conference this afternoon. The focus now on how it happened. The crash involved a Guelph Transit bus and a police car. It happened around 12:30 this morning on Imperial Road. The bus was traveling south. Constable Kovach was heading north. She was responding to a request for assistance on a traffic call, we're told.
At some point along her travels, it was actually right close to the entranceway to the West End Rec Center. Her car traveled across the center of the roadway and struck a city Guelph Transit bus. Obviously, due to the collision, Guelph police officers, fire, our EMS all attended to the scene.
We talked to people living in townhomes nearby who witnessed the aftermath and heard the impact.
Well, I was just inside my house, so I only heard the noise. It was just a really loud kind of a squeal and then a bang.
I didn't know anything was going on until my wife came home and she told me and informed me. And when I went outside, I saw the police car on the side of the road there, quite smashed in, like something serious had happened.
And what happened came with tragic results, despite the best efforts from emergency personnel.
The bus driver, luckily, was only received minimal injuries and was able to be released from the hospital. Unfortunately, though, our police officer did succumb to her injuries and was pronounced deceased at the hospital.
Now, police will focus on things like road conditions, speed, and the mechanical condition of the cruiser, even trying to recreate what happened here. Megan?
All right, thanks very much, Art. Well, we are learning more about who Jennifer Kovach was as a police officer, but also as a person. She came from a family known for giving back to the community, and Jennifer was doing that very same thing. CTV's Abigail Beeman joins us now, and Abigail, an absolutely heartbreaking day for the Kovach family today.
An unbelievable day of emotional extremes, Megan. Today the Kovachs lost a daughter, a sister, and an aunt in Jennifer, but they also welcomed a new family member. Jennifer's brother Brian had a baby girl this morning.
Known in the Guelph Police Service for her friendly smile and bouncing ponytail, 26-year-old Jennifer Kovach always wanted to be a police officer, and she wanted to stay in her hometown. Here at Centennial at just 16, a high school officer helped start Jen on the right path. Later at Conestoga College, she was a standout.
From day one, she had a smile on her face, and she didn't take it off, and even all the way through the 2 years of graduation.
Faculty member Carolyn Harrison says policing was the perfect fit.
She embodied all of those characteristics that a police officer would have, and she had really good interpersonal skills. She was fun. She got along well with her classmates. She was good at teamwork, and she was successful. She was always here, always enthusiastic.
While Jennifer was given offers from other police forces, she stayed in Guelph. The Kovachs are all about giving back to their community. Her mother, Gloria, has been a city councillor for more than 2 decades. And a year and a half ago, her father, Bill, retired as a paramedic after more than 30 years of service in Guelph, Wellington.
Many of the paramedics are upset and grieving on his behalf and worried about him and his family.
Heartbreaking for first responders at the crash scene, realizing they were trying to save one of their own.
We deal with emergency situations on a regular basis, but it hits a lot closer to home when it's one of the people that you know and work with, and it is a little bit very difficult for us to deal with.
Jennifer's brother also calling Guelph home for years, working at this downtown pawn shop before moving away, and we're told welcoming a new baby this morning.
The Kovach family did not want to speak to us today. They say they will be issuing a statement in the coming days.
Absolutely understandable. Thanks very much, Abigail. Well, we do know that desperate efforts were made to save Constable Jennifer Kovach, the chief thanking all emergency personnel today, including the bus driver. The bus driver was also taken to hospital with injuries. We're told the person behind the wheel was a senior driver who offered incredible care and compassion to Constable Kovach. That driver has not been identified, but we do know he or she has been released from hospital and is now recovering at home. Well, the Premier is among dozens of officials offering condolences today. In a statement, Premier Kathleen Wynne says she is deeply saddened to hear about the death of Constable Jennifer Kovach. She goes on to say Kovach was so young with such a promising career ahead of her, and her presence will be missed on the job and throughout her community. Ontario owes a debt of gratitude to Constable Kovach and all of our police officers who do so much to serve and protect the people of this province. Now, Constable Jennifer Kovach's name will be added to a memorial at Queen's Park for fallen police officers. A somber ceremony is held every May at the legislature where officers who died in the line of duty are remembered. The names of 251 officers have been inscribed on that wall, which was built in 2000. 86 of them were provincial police officers, including OPP Constable Vu Pham, who was killed in a shootout on a remote road in Huron County just 3 years ago. And while condolences are coming in from across the province, the loss is being felt most here on the streets where Kovach spent her time. CTV's Frank Lynn has been talking to residents and their reaction. Frank, what are they saying?
Megan, the overwhelming reaction is one of sadness and for some shock. As word of Constable Kovach's death spread through the city, people were visibly upset.
I'm shocked. It's
I can hear you.
Unnecessary. It's a horrible waste of experience, talent, and life.
At a press conference, the mayor said Kovach's death is a huge loss for the police service and the community.
Becoming a police officer was really a dream for her. And it was a very proud moment that she became not only a police officer, but in her own hometown.
Cam Guthrie, a city council colleague of Jennifer's mother, Gloria Kovach, said he was shocked.
Didn't really know what to say or what to do, just said some prayers and for the family.
On the street, more sympathy.
It makes you sad, first of all, that the police are out there all the time, and you never really think about them until you need one, or until a tragedy occurs.
I was shocked, especially because my own children are police officers and they're pretty upset and pretty upsetting.
So tonight a lot of Guelph residents are thinking about the Kovachs and their terrible loss, and they're also thinking about the jobs that police officers do every day. Megan.
All right, thanks very much, Frank. Well, this is not the first time the Guelph Police Service has lost an officer in the line of duty, but it is the first time they have lost one in the past 50 years. Constable William Holloway died May 2nd, 1922 from injuries received while carrying out his duties. He'd served in the city for 2.5 years. And Constable Walter McCauley, a 9-year member of the police service, was killed in the line of duty April 5th, 1964. Well, joining me now to talk about this terrible loss is Guelph Police Chief Brian Larkin. Thanks so much for being with us, Chief. Obviously a very tough day for you and your officers. How is everyone holding up at this point?
Well, it's a very difficult and sad, tragic day for the Guelph Police Service, and in particular for our community. We're a vibrant, unique community. We're a mid-sized community not that far from Toronto, and the impacts are being felt without, largely because of the personality of Constable Jen Kovach. And so though I'm finding some great peace with the number of condolences that are coming in and people coming into the station, but our members, I'm so very proud of them. They've persevered through some incredible crisis today, but it's a very difficult and sad day, and want to reassure the community that we're doing everything we can to ensure a sustainable police service while looking after our police officers and our members of the service.
Absolutely. Now, we do know that Constable Kovach was responding to a call this morning. What can you tell us about that situation, where she was headed? Another officer was asking for help. Is that correct?
So shortly after 12:30 in the morning, Constable Kovach was responding to assist an officer who had a traffic stop related to a drug occurrence and was affecting an arrest. Constable Kovach was going to assist that officer as a backup, and tragically we do know that the temperatures were dropping, and at this time the investigation remains under, the collision remains under investigation, but we do know that there was an impact with the city transit bus which resulted resulted in fatal injuries to Jen Kovach.
Okay, obviously a phone call that you never want to make. How is the Kovach family holding up?
Well, you know, I take great inspiration from the Kovach family. I had the incredible honor to spend lots of time with the Kovach family today, and in particular the last several hours with her mother, Councillor Kovach. And there's great inspiration, there's great strength, there's great encouragement, and really recognizing that Jennifer did not come to work. She came to a calling. And Jennifer loved being a police officer, and that showed in her gregarious, her zest for life. She was a daredevil in the sense of a strong sense of adventure, and simply had the most wonderful smile. And when I think about that, it brings a warm feeling to me, but the family is simply under the most incredible circumstances, doing as best they can, and we're offering all the support they can.
All right, Chief, thanks again for being with
so
us
much.
tonight, and of course our condolences to you and your officers as well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Well, condolences have been pouring in on social media. EMS, firefighters, emergency personnel rallying around Jennifer Kovach. CTV's Priya Mann is in Kitchener tonight with this story. Priya.
That's right, Megan. Emergency workers are banding together to show their support for the fallen officer. Tweets from a police branch as far away as British Columbia to the OPP and Crime Stoppers, and many of these tweets were accompanied by the hashtag Heroes for Life and GPS Media.
Messages of sympathy, like this one from the Canadian Crime Stoppers Association, which read, "Condolences to family, friends, and colleagues of Constable Jennifer Kovach of Guelph Police Service." Or this one from Hamilton Police that said, "Our thoughts and prayers are with all members of the Guelph Police Service and Constable Jennifer Kovach's family and friends." Matt Jodham, president of the Guelph Police Association, described the fallen officer like this.
She was a team player. She very well liked a young officer, and her enthusiasm and her energy was outstanding.
And in a statement, Waterloo Regional Police Chief Matt Torrigan said, "We are deeply saddened by the tragic loss of Constable Jennifer Kovach and offer our condolences and support to the Guelph Police Service, the Kovach family, and the entire Guelph community." Toronto Staff Sergeant Kim Scanlon perhaps summed it up best, tweeting, "Our thoughts and prayers go out to PC Kovach's family, friends, and the Guelph Police Service. We all feel this great loss." And on the Facebook page, Canadian Heroes, the profile picture is of Kovach's, arms crossed, smiling brightly, with her badge number 72, and the saying, "Forever remembered as a hero in life, not death." Priya Mann, CTV News, Kitchener.
And as the chief mentioned, the investigation into this crash is still ongoing. We can tell you that the funeral is still being planned, but it will be a full public funeral with honors for Constable Jennifer Kovach. Of course, still a lot of questions to be answered, and we will continue to cover this story. For now, I will send it back to Nancy in the studio for the rest of the day's top stories.